So it is, we have actually built a new copper factory that I blueprinted at the end of the last episode, and we even started to expand it because now on top of the coal and copper needed for this, we also have iron, right? We have 2 new blast furnaces, one has been built, one hasn't been, because we're gonna build it together, and that's going to enable us to make the iron. So this way we have copper and iron really together, and the key reason I did this is because in the past we used to have copper over here, we used to have iron all the way there. Actually you can see the iron one is for now not empty yet. I'm gonna empty it now, and that was very separated and all of this. Now they're gonna be together, and so with this we can also automate a maintenance factory, right? We're gonna get this copper over here, this iron there, and some rubber. We're gonna transform it into mechanical parts and electronics, and then we have some buffer over here, and that will be then sent to 2 maintenance depots. So with this we should be fine for maintenance for a while, and in particular sort of automated. Even when I don't really have a lot of trucks, this should be working without any problem. The other reason why it should be working without any problem is because I'm gonna put alerts, right? In this electronic and in these mechanical parts, I have an alert if it's below 50%, so we can always see in advance. And also I have put off in terms of truck being able to take things from here. So this is sort of really dedicated for maintenance. Let's build it. I mean, we do have quite a bit of parts, so that should be fine. And then while this is happening, let me show you over here. So basically, this is very similar to this one, right? We have 2 blast furnaces in the middle. We're gonna have, the slag that goes all the way over here. Then, with this, we're making 24 molten iron each. They're going on the outside. This is 12 and 12. The only difference is we don't need the last step, right? We don't need to transform impure with water into pure. This goes directly into pure, right? So that's perfect. That's what's happening over here. The only difference is that, the raw material, the copper, in this case the iron, is at level 2 instead of level 1. So this one here, right, this lift, we had to put it a bit higher. So we take the loose lift, and remember you press F if you want to change the input. In this case it's fine, right? This is going to work. You're gonna click 1 time, then you're gonna press E to bring it to the right level, and now you can see it's connecting perfectly. And then we can even delete this one. We can keep it if we want, but we can also delete it. So let's go. I don't have a lot of workers right now, to be honest, but that's also because I just built all of this. We will have to increase our population in this episode for sure. I'm not gonna build those ones for now. Let me just make sure we delete also this probably first. We actually have maintenance very low right now, so let's just delete all of this. Delete this one too. Okay. So in a building like this, when there is still resources inside, in this case there are 18, you can make sure that it is exported somewhere else by putting a high priority, or you can spend a bit of Unity to take it out completely. In this case, it's gonna go out. Usually it's going to go either into a depot that already exists or into your shipyard. So that's fine, that's working well over here. Similarly, I'm gonna delete these two. Right, and in the future I probably also want to delete those ones. So I'm gonna say that you can't bring anything new over here. We should start to empty these ones as much as possible. So we also don't have a lot of maintenance in terms of percentages because we just built 2 new depots, right? So it's gonna take some time for this to get full, but hopefully, we can have, yeah, there is some rubber here, perfect. So that should be get us started. Oh no, I forgot to put, sorry, I forgot to put over here some of the, I feel like I had put them, I feel like they've been deleted somehow. But anyway, I will of course also put, this into a blueprint and share it with all of you on my Discord community. But yeah, we have the mechanical part starting over here. By the way, we're making 12, and as you can see, 12 is exactly what you need given that we have 2 at the maximum. In this case, we're making also 12, and we don't even need that. We only need 6. So that should, this one is not gonna work all the time, basically, which is fine. Over here, all good. So what problems do we have here? It's mostly this, basically. It needs to get full, it's gonna take a bit of time. So in the meantime, also I have over here deleted one of these ore sorting plants and put a new one here with some storage, right? And now what I need to do is to make sure that we empty this one, we empty this one, so they are not the problem. We will have to also take care of the fact that now this is basically full, and so this could get clogged up. I haven't really thought about it right now. Of course, you could do something where you say in this one you only allow the copper ore, and then you build a one next door for the iron. But the problem is, if you look over here, for example, I'm gonna dig both copper and iron at the same place, right? So one separated is not gonna work. So I think we're gonna have to also start using balancers and things like this. But for now, we don't have that problem yet. Okay, and over here, we've also started to make some progress, right? As you can see, this is getting nice and flat. Over here, we're starting to really feel this, right? There is quite a big gap though for over here. So it's gonna take a while to fill this one. Then we're gonna dig this. My goal is, to make it flat all the way there. So then we can also really use this as a bit more of a mega factory for all of our different industries. I also want to start soon the concrete over here. But yeah, first I thought it was quite important to get our maintenance sorted out, let's say. Food is fine, as you can see, right? We're full on potatoes, we're almost full on vegetables. So really great, which also means, again, I can probably now move to extending the town over here. Let's go. Let's use our Unity. And I've started to also remake some vehicle parts. We have started to get a few more vehicles. I think we ended the last episode probably on 30. Now we are 37. So we're going to continue. I think we're going to try to make one pickup, then one small excavator, then a couple more pickups. So all good there. I haven't really gone more onto the map because remember we're starting to find a lot of pirates which destroy or make me have to repair. So I'm gonna wait to arrive somewhere over here when we can improve our ship. But to do this, we're gonna need to do the research lab level 2. So let's start this research. Let's also start housing level 2, by the way, while we're at it. I'll explain what this level 2 housing is when we get it. So maintenance is going up, no problem. And then at some point, this will also start getting a bit more full. So it shouldn't be a problem. Good, so I'm happy there. I'm slightly worried about this one, but maybe I'll put an alert when this one is full. But we also have alert anyway when this gets full, so that's fine. Coal is slowly but surely, being cleaned there. Let's continue here too. Good. I don't have any excavators that are empty. Let me put 2 on this just in case. Good. So more population means we should also restart the beacon, because that's the easy way to get more population quickly. We do have a problem here, and this is because there is a disease going on. There is a cold. It's not COVID, but who knows? So we have to be careful there. And here it is, ladies and gents, a couple of minutes later and everything is working perfectly. Our maintenance is back to 100%, right? It's working fully well, and given that we are producing more maintenance than what we're using, we've also started to fill all of these, right? They are at more than 50%, so the alert is gone. We don't have an alert anymore. And this one is actually even completely full. So this is a great success. So with this success in mind, it's time to move to the next part of the plan. Re-engineering all of this, right? This is not working well at all. First of all, we need to deliver, each time we want to do something, we need to deliver the resources. Similarly, most of them, there is no storage for the resources, so it's not working well at all. So we're gonna move to this part, the new part over here, right? It's getting flatter and flatter, as you can see, right? We have this whole piece here is flat. Here we're starting to completely fill it. We're working on this small mountain there, and then we can continue here and there. So we are going to build a mini boss. This is not really a real boss. If you want to see a real boss, don't hesitate to check my previous series for update 1. We had a gigantic boss at the end that was working super well, but for the beginning of the game this will suffice. So let me explain a bit what's happening. Basically on one side we're gonna have all of the depots. So we have the depots of inputs, for example the copper over here, the iron, the rubber, and also depots for whatever we're building. For example, over here electronics we're building, here mechanical parts, right? So the idea is, we still need a couple of trucks to bring those things in, right? To bring the copper in, to bring the rubber, we need a couple of trucks, but then everything else is gonna be done with those belts. We are not gonna need any of those trucks, to work here. And actually what you can do is, if you really want to be sure, is you can even put it off so that nobody is going to bother them. So at the beginning, it's going to be a bit similar to the maintenance. We're gonna take the rubber and the copper over here. One is at level 0, one is at level 1 with this flat lift, and it's going to make electronics. Right now, I've put 2 of those assembly level 2, so we're gonna make 24, if both of these are working. Then it's merged on this side and goes into this. If we need some, this way we could have some storage. In the future, we can also be even better and start having balancers and things like this, but for now, this should be enough. Then, what we're gonna do is actually, we have this storage, and this storage could be used to do some things. But first, let me show you for the iron over here, right? The iron will come here, and we're actually going to do mechanical parts, because the only thing needed is iron. So we have those 2 here, and if you look there, they're going to be merged, right, on this belt, and do the same thing as the electronics, where they go all the way here, go back inside, and then they can be used to do something else. And we're gonna do 2 things. The first one is over here, we're gonna take electronics, mechanical parts, and a bit more iron to do vehicle parts, at scale. So that's why the iron belt continues all the way over here. Then we have the mechanical part belt at level 0, right? And we have our electronics over here at level 1. Let me put this to the side, right? It goes at level 1, and there is this one here. So that's going to get us, some mechanical parts. I may also even move, actually, this vehicle depot over here. The only thing is we're gonna need also diesel. So I'll see in a second. And then the second thing is I have now unlocked research lab level 2. So if we go into buildings, we still have our research lab level 1, but we also have our research lab level 2. Now, looking at this over here, the big thing is if you look at all of these over here, you cannot do them unless you have a research lab level 2. Basically, if we try, and I'm going to show you in a second because we're almost done with housing. If I try to put this, let's add this one to the queue, this is not going to work. So we definitely need to move to research lab level 2, but the complexity is, let me actually build one. Sorry, wrong one. So if I build one somewhere over here, yeah. So first of all, this is a different building. You can see bigger, more prettier, and all of this. But more importantly, it has an input and actually also an output. So we're gonna need to actually give it something. What do you need to give it? Lab equipment. So that's what we're doing over here. We're taking some mechanical parts and electronics to make lab equipment. Now, it's actually quite high numbers. We're gonna take 12 and 12 to make 24, but the reality is one of those research lab only takes 4. So we're not gonna really have, this working all the time. I think we're gonna make a quickly this will be full and then this can stop. I will probably though still put 2. I think we had 2 right now. That's a good number. We want to obviously do this. And by the way, I'm building all of this as always into template. Make sure I can move it as needed. And also because I don't have actually that much construction part level 2, because we paused this a while back. So maybe let's restart it now. And yeah, as I was saying, we have a problem. The current research is too advanced for our labs. So our labs, they cannot work, those labs level 1, they cannot work to make this. So, they're basically useless. We can delete these 2 at this point. And we're gonna be able to start this. So let's start, we don't have actually a lot of construction parts. but don't really have a choice at this point. Let's start with all of this here. Then this one, this. And then we can do the research lab a bit later. So let me build this and I'll see you in a sec. By the way, you can see also our reserve of wood are increasing because I'm cutting all of this, making some reserves. And also, the reason we're doing it is also just to get some space. I am also trying to empty, all of those things. So for example, over here, this is now off. So we cannot deliver there, but hopefully, from time to time, they will take some resources over here to do things, which is why I also have paused all of these ones. So slowly but surely, this one is decreasing. And then when this is empty, they're probably going to take this one. Then we can delete this because I don't really need it. Similarly, as I said, we have actually a lot of vehicle parts right now. Let me pause that one. And instead, let's focus on making construction parts level 1. I don't really need that one. We can start also deleting some of these, to be honest. Like, let's delete this. Let's delete this. And what is that? Yeah, we can also delete this one. Good. I'm going to keep the construction part because you may have realized I actually didn't use this to make construction parts. We're going to make a slightly different layout for it. But yeah, that's why I was saying we can soon delete all of this. Let's make maybe one more tree harvester, one more excavator, and then a couple more of those pickups. And it's always good to have quite a few, and we have a limit of 80 right now, thanks to this research over here, vehicle management, that decreased by 20. We're gonna have another one there, etc. So it will continue to increase soon. So yeah, that's some good progress. Again, I'll see you in a few minutes when all of this will be built. Here it is, ladies and gents, a couple of minutes later, and the minimum over here has been built. Right, we have all of our storage there. They've been built. They are actually also full of resources, as you can see. And then it starts to deliver with belt, right? This is completely belted. There's no trucks needed. So we're bringing the rubber, the copper to make electronics. And the electronics are going there, and then they're going to be used. But first, we also do the same with the iron, right? The iron is going to make some mechanical parts. Then the mechanical parts go over here. And you take those mechanical parts and these electronics and also a bit more of iron, and we're going to be able to now make those vehicle parts automated, right? So that's quickly increasing, as you can see. And then we can now build this part over here for research, right? This can be built too. But before, I do want to show you that we're also making great progress on getting all of this at level 2, right? This is all at level 2 now, all at level 2, all at level, not 2, sorry. I did mine, this was higher than 2, now it's at 2, but we need to drop a bit there in the future. We can do that later. Now I'm focusing on this part here. We have also cut a lot of trees, so now we have access to the coal there, and we have access to the limestone. So in the next episode, we can definitely start over here in a brick production, for my parts. That is indeed, because remember that this is not making any parts. We're still making our parts, our construction parts over here. So we're gonna want to automate this. And that's what we're gonna do over here with also the new buildings like the concrete mixer, the crusher, roll, tire clean, right? So we're gonna build all of these there. We will also, as I just said, start moving with the research, and in particular also research will be important to get into power generation soon, because right now I'm starting to burn a lot of diesel for, for energy, right? We have 3 over here that are working basically all the time. So that's not really great. But otherwise our populations continue to grow. I have built another housing there. This is level 1. We can upgrade to level 2 also in the next episode. We are not giving electricity yet, but we're gonna do that soon. We have managed to delete all of the storage of copper over here. We're also slowly but surely, deleting or emptying all of these wood ones. So, I said it's not possible to deliver anymore, but we're slowly but surely using it for parts. Then we can delete it and make some more space, for cities here. I have a lot of my excavator 4 now working on this mountain, to make this flat. This is basically a lot of what's coming over here. All of the soil, right, is being dumped there. So this is also one of the challenge of this map is, you know, there is not a lot of big mountain of soil and rocks. There's mountains, of course, of resources, but not so much of rock and soil. So that's why we're basically moving it from one side to the other. Now, as I said, you know, we're starting to empty these ones, so let's delete them, get us even more construction parts. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the progress. Don't hesitate to tell me in the comments below if you have any questions, photo requests. But I think this is working really well. It's a basic but very efficient production for iron and copper at the beginning. We have our maintenance fully automated over here, so I don't have to worry about this. And now we're starting to also make over here a mini bus, right, of the key resources, things like also our vehicle parts, and now going to the research. So that's gonna be important. Smash like button, and I hope to see you next time.